Hello, hello. Hi, Lala. How are you? I know I haven't been in forever. So, hello, hello. If you're coming in, I'm Lara Joe, Siren Song Lover. Hello, Snowflake. I'm Lara Joe, Siren Song Lover, which ironically one of my old coworkers used to call me Snowflake. I was like, yeah, please don't call me that, but okay. It's because I'm so pale. Anywho, all right, Snowflake, let's see what you need to know. We're kind of doing collective reads. Okay, the Fool, which we are marching right into Aries season. So the Fool makes sense. The Fool is asking you, be brave enough to step out onto a limb, right? And start a new adventure. So the Fool is saying be brave, but it's Aries energy. It's kind of like the immature Aries. I always like to say the Fool is like a March Aries, where it's just that they're very curious, right? So the Fool is saying, hey, we don't know what's out there, but we're going to go on this journey anyway. So hello, hello. Let's see what we need to know. Yeah. All right. So it's time to take the adventure, to take the shot. Take the shot on you, right? Be willing. Okay, let's see what else. You guys are coming in. I'm Lara Joe, Siren Song Lover. We're doing collective energy. So 3 of Swords, 8 of Wands. So 3 of Swords is that betrayal. It's triangulation. It's mind games because Swords is about the mind, right? 8 of Wands, you're getting messages though. It's like when you get that gut feeling about someone, you're like, sometimes those are the messages. You're like, something's not right in the neighborhood. So 3 of Swords, 8 of Wands, and the Fool is asking you, like, yes, you were betrayed there. Don't keep going back to fountains that keep leaving you feeling sick, right? So I always tell people, because it's better to be alone than to be poisoned by others' bullshit. So 3 of Swords, it's like, I would rather not keep, because imagine like love and life is a fountain or a cup, right? So when you keep going back to a cup that every time you go back to it, it makes you sick, you as big grown you has to finally say, you know what, I'm not going to keep going back to that source, because every time I do, I feel depleted, I feel sick, I don't feel great. So with 3 of Swords and triangulation, 8 of Wands, the Fool, it is really saying, if you feel betrayed, it's time to keep moving. And you're getting intuitive signs. So please make sure you're listening to your intuition. We also, Wednesday, we have a Pisces new moon. And I believe we also have on the 25th, there's like an eclipse or some business coming up. And what eclipses are great for is cutting people out of your life. Like the universe will come in and it'll say, hey, okay, this person can't stay. This is a pattern. You need to quit repeating it. Please keep moving. All right. Hey, guys, if you're coming in, I'm Lara Joe. Please tap the like button. Please comment, share, book a reading with me. That would be great. Let's see what else we need to know from the Crow Tarot Queen of Pentacles. So you could be a Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, or you could have been dealing with someone who's a Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, yet this is saying, like, focus on your wealth. We don't have to worry about what anybody else is doing, but you do have to focus on what you're doing. So Queen of Pentacles is saying, I'm going to build that world, that cheddar, that throne for myself. So Queen of Pentacles is asking you to step into that energy and build your wealth. Like I said, you could be dealing with Queen of Pentacles. Here's what I love, guys. People will try to destiny swap with you. And ultimately, if they can't do it, you get their gifts. Okay, so I always talk about like embodying when people aren't, like if it's a Queen of Pentacles and they aren't embodying Queen of Pentacles energy, well, if you're smart enough, right, and you can alchemize what they sent to you, then you step into their gifts, right? So hello, I'm Lara Joe, Siren Song Lover. Let's see what else we need to know. Wheel of Fortune. This feels like a lucky break. And we're coming up on the spring and Aries season, so it's kind of saying, okay, how do we need to take those chances? How do we need to do something a little different? And maybe that's like trying a new place. Maybe that's saying, okay, let's go to that place I've always wanted to. Wheel of Fortune is asking you, it's kind of luck, but luck really is what you make of it, right? I had a friend that was like, oh, you're so lucky. No, I worked my ass off. I appear lucky, but I was behind the scenes. Like, she was one of my friends who, she went off and had babies while I was putting myself through school as a single mom. So she said, oh, you're so lucky. No, I put myself in the rooms and the positions. So Wheel of Fortune is saying, put yourself in the rooms and the positions of where you want to be, maybe not necessarily where you are currently. So be brave, be bold. All right, hello. I'm Lara Jo, Siren Song Lover. Let's see if we got anybody over there. If you're coming in, please like, comment, share, be kind. Hello, God is good. Love and light. Also know that healing is also darkness and shadow. You have to embrace both sides of it, right? So anybody, especially in the healing space, that says that healing is all love and light, it's not. It's meeting yourself in the darkest places to overcome your own shadows, right? So Ace of Swords, Hanged Man, Strength, Queen of Wands, and Knight of Swords. There's a lot coming out here. So Ace of Swords is using logic and discernment. Swords is head over heart, right? If you know a Queen of Swords or you've been personally victimized by one, which I may start creating my own little people who have had like traumatic experiences, be like, you know what? You don't mess with the Queen of Swords because we use head over heart. We will cut you off. Like, we can love you and leave you just as quickly. So Ace of Swords is saying you can love people, but if it's unhealthy or toxic for you, please cut it off. Because you can justify like, oh, I love them. No, but if they keep hurting you, why do you keep going back? Okay, Hanged Man. This is saying change your perspective on people. I had to start saying, because people, oh, that's your mom, that's your dad. No, people that love you don't do those things to you. So Hanged Man and Ace of Truth is saying, where do I have to use logic and be like, where do I change my perspective? You owe loyalty to no one. And I know that sounds harsh, but let it be. Strength, Queen of Wands, so fiery, passionate Queen of Wands. So could be dealing with Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, especially strength. That's Leo energy. So it's saying, okay, and when I see strength, I like to look at, like, sometimes you have to, all right, you have to tame your own lion, right? Like, I had to come up with this because when I had to give up drinking, right? Like, that was part of my healing, was giving up the addiction, which then I realized, like, I was raised by alcoholics and married to a functioning alcoholic, and I was a functioning alcoholic, and I didn't realize all of that until I finally got sober and I started healing. And what that journey taught me is, like, you have to tell yourself no. Again, nobody else can make you stop doing that thing. You have to be the grown adult in your own life, in your own situation, and be like, I can't do this because every time I do, it puts myself in danger. So Queen of Wands, Strength, Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is being fast and decisive. I've started telling people, like, cut them off. You don't owe them an explanation, but Knight of Swords is being investigative. Right? So with that, we're saying, okay, we're going to investigate, what have I had to be so strong for? Okay? Kimmy, my love, we're doing collective energy reads. So fit in where you sit in. If you get messages off of it, you get messages off of it. If you don't, you don't. I will pull into a love oracle coming up, but I'm not doing individual questions. That's one-on-one readings. Okay? So you guys sit and hang out, right? So Strength, Knight of Swords, Queen of Wands. You want to be fiery, you want to be passionate, but you have to use that great strength and investigate what is causing your problems. Don't sit by idly, okay? But being willing, when you are presented with new information, please be willing to change your perspective, right? Like, you were given that knowledge or those messages for a reason. Queen of Cups is going to ask you, what makes your heart happy? Not what makes your mama happy, not your daddy, not your kids, not your spouse, not your whoever, or if you're not any of those things, but you have to figure out what makes you happy. Okay? Because at the end of the day, you have to live with you. And you have gotten yourself through 100% of your hardest days. So why? That's one thing I love to say. You, my friend, have gotten yourself through 100% of your hardest days without anybody else the majority of the time. So why do you crumble under someone who doesn't actually know what it's like to be you? I've started having to look at it and be like, if I don't respect their life choices, I do not have to respect their criticism, right? And people always love to say, oh, well, if I were in your shoes, but you weren't. So you can't critique how I handled it. Also, guys, you have to start saying it's weird when people are making fun of the hardest points in your life. those are not your people, right? So be very discerning about who you spend your time with, because your energy is your currency, and where you put your attention is where that energy flows. So realizing that I have to be very careful about who I allow into my circle, because I love me. I had to start telling people, I'm like, I won't go there because it takes me out of character. I won't hang out with you because when I hang around you, I don't feel good about myself. And again, at the end of the day, I have to live with myself. So, okay, 3 of Wands. This is that building. We're starting to build our foundation, because 4 of Wands is happiness, right? It's home, it's stability. So 3 of Wands is saying we are building what it is that we want. So guys, everything that you do on this journey is not a loss, right? Even though it didn't come back to you in the way that it left you, it will come back to you. That's also being like, hey, if you're putting out ill intent into the universe, that's also going to come back to you. So being very mindful, again, of who you're building with, what you're building with, what you truly want, not what anybody else says, okay? Because in the end, this is when I started this business, like, I can't even tell you how many times I've been on the kitchen floor at 3 a.m. crying and haven't eaten all day. So that's that part. You can't make anybody else come along with you, so you have to make sure you're good. And, check yourself. If you guys are coming in and you like my vibe, please comment, share, like. Please drive up my likes if you can. I'm only at 212, which is just a baby number, right? Just a baby. So if you guys can get my likes up, I would greatly appreciate that, please. I'm Lara Jo, Siren Song Lover. That's how we actually reciprocate energy. If you're not commenting, how do we know it's your energy? Or if you're not commenting, like, you're not adding to the participation, you're just sitting there like a bump on the log. 10 of Swords, put the heartbreak down. 10 of Swords, this is backstabbing, betrayal, like every sword in your back. That's as many swords as you can get in there. So you finally have to get up and look around and be like, okay, so you take that sword that your friend, and swords are intimate, right? It's mental. They have to know you personally in a lot of ways. So 10 of Swords is taking that sword out of your back and cutting off the people that put you in that position. This is literally rock bottom. Yet you really do have to start looking at, if they put me in this position and they're off laughing, I'm not going to consider them a friend. That's an op. That's someone trying to be an agent of chaos in your life. Okay, so 10 of Swords is saying, if they betrayed you, it's time to let them go, please. All right. And 4 of Cups, and it comes out sideways. So it's like you were left in this thirsty, lacking position. Why did I want to say it was like? Okay. All right. Hello. If you guys are coming in, please comment, like, share. Please hit the like button. Show me some love. I'm Lara Jo, Siren Song Lover. Let's see if anything else from this deck. If not, we're going to switch decks. No, we'll switch. Okay. I'm going to do a different deck. Since I'm not getting a whole lot of participation, I probably won't be hanging around real long because, we can always do other things. So, Orphan, you feel alone in the world, and clean it up. Okay, so I promise you're not alone, but you do need to clean up your mind space. You do need to clean up your life. You need to clean up your friends list. So clean it up and orphaned. This is all going back to remember who made you feel lonely even when you were not alone. So, Yasmin, we're doing kind of collective energy, my little love. So if it comes out, like, you have to listen for the information. So orphan and clean up. I need you to focus right now on making sure that you're not feeling lonely when you're around this person, my little love. Okay. And like I say, so this is collective. We're not answering personals because we got stuff going on. Botched. Let me see what else. We got stuff going on over there. Slow-mo, this is collective. If you want a personal, you book a one-on-one with me, baby. But let's see what's in here. So, if it fits, it sits. If it does not apply, let it fly, right? So when the card comes out, if it's for you, you'll know. You'll feel it, right? Whatever your confirmation is. Let's see. If anything, okay, I'm like, this deck don't want to talk. The decks don't want to talk today. So round and round, you've been going around the same circle, right? How many times do you have to keep doing the same thing? Because when you do, like, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and expecting different results. So realizing, okay, where am I just spinning my wheels? And is it time to do something different? Chop wood, and this is saying keep yourself busy, create, go for a walk. Chop wood is be productive. Even if you feel like you're in a cycle, you can still be productive and do something while you're here. The fates are at play, higher power, happy in reverse, and thinker. Okay, so the fates and higher power and thinker is like, sometimes you have to get out of your logical mind, right? We all want to believe in magic, and magic is real. It's just energy, but it gets even deeper than that because it's not really magic. It's just, we can't conceptualize. So Jassy, it's round and round. It's if you're in cycles of pain with them, and I'm not answering personals, then you need to let it go and do something more productive with your time. Okay, so higher power, fates, and thinker. It's realizing there are bigger things at play than you realize. Okay, so, and right now I know you're not happy. It's happy in reverse. I'm going to say this from lots of experience. Sometimes we think it's a loss when we don't connect with that person, but then you find out, okay, guys, we're not doing personal reads. This is collective. So, personal is reading, like, one-on-one with me. We're not answering personals, okay? So, happy in reverse. You have to realize what is making you unhappy and change your position. Sometimes it's really just surrendering. Like, guys, sometimes you just have to surrender. And I will say this about bad energy. Bad energy on you is what you make of it. If people are saying you hate, you can alchemize that. Right? Like, if people don't like you, that's a them problem. But they're sending you free energy, and then that means you can utilize it, right? Anybody that throws anything at you, that's like a brick for your foundation. So when people are sending you ill will, I love to use that as like a little ward and make it, like, turn it into protection for me. So it's like anybody that sends evil eye to me, every time they do, I get richer because I say, they're not allowed to do all that. So realizing, even if it's negative energy on you, negative energy is powerful for transmutation, alchemization, probably more powerful than just using, like, love and light. When you get real angry, you start to change things real fast. So building blocks. This is saying you are building up, right? So like I said, if somebody's sending, like, if they're throwing rocks at you, you take that, you use that for your garden. And that's hyperbole, right? If somebody's throwing something at you, you use it for your own good. You don't have to, but it's free energy and they sent it out, so you might as well use it, right? So building blocks is asking you to build. Okay. Let's see if anything else out of here. Kittens are weird. Cats and kittens are weird. Okay, so chop wood. Do something with your hands. Okay. Delilah, potentially yes, because in relationships you have to put your partner's feelings. Okay, so chop wood, do something else other than freak out, right? And Delilah, we're doing collective energy reads, one-on-ones, like personal questions or one-on-one. Okay. Let's see what else we need. If anything, it's probably about time for me to hop out. Let's see. Okay. Round and round, chop wood, orphaned, fork in the road. You have to make the decision by the book. Are you going to keep going with what the old structures tell you, or are you going to be willing to take a chance? Yang and thinker, you need to be thinking about whether you're male or female. How to balance your masculine, right? We all, male or female, we all have masculine and feminine in us. So yang energy and thinker is asking you, if there's a chance to change, how are you going to embrace that male essence within yourself, male or female? Sharon, we are doing collective, but angels calling to you. Do you identify with Gabriel? Because I feel Michael, I feel Metatron, I feel kind of Gabriel, but you will have to do your homework on that. Okay. See if it fits. If it fits, it's. If it does not fly, if it does not apply, let it fly. Right? All right. Okay. Fork in the road and buy the book. Yes, you have to, again, decide. Do you go with what your parents taught you, or are you willing to branch out and do something new and adventurous? I first started out the read with the Fool card, which the Fool always tells me, it's like, take the chance, do the thing. Be adventurous. Be brave. We'll see. Oh, you didn't ask. You asked angels. You didn't ask spirits, baby. There is a difference. Not everybody's an angel. Sharon, how about this? We will shuffle through the Love Oracle card. I was like, so it does feel like you have Gabriel around you. So if you're feeling restless, I would sit in meditation and see if that feels relevant for you. So Sharon, what I will do, since you, and I am going to hop out after this, and I was doing collective reads, but I'll pull one for you. We're going to see if your husband is around you and what message he would give you from the Love Oracle. Okay, so if your husband is around you to connect with you, let's see what he would have to say. Did he... Was his passing sudden? And how long ago did it happen? Kayla, I'm doing collective, but I'm actually answering a spirit question for Sharon currently, if she's still in. And girl, you got to go out and live your best freaking life. Okay? So Kayla, my little friend, if he's not messaging you, because boys will go to great lengths. So if he's not messaging you, I need you to go out and live your best life. Summer is right around the corner. You need to get that hot girl bod for summer going. Okay, Sharon, was it sudden, baby? Or was he... You're welcome, babe. We are female empowerment here. So I'm always going to tell you, like, don't wait around for him, right? Because they always have buyer's remorse. They always let you get away. And then they realize that they're interested. Or even in friends. Okay, so Sharon, I want to ask so many more questions, but I'm also like, Let me think on that for a minute, because there's a lot that's kind of coming through, but without knowing. He wants you to enjoy your mornings more. Like, enjoy the coffee, please. Did you guys used to sit and drink coffee in the morning, or was that completely far off? Like, he's saying, like, slow down. Slow down, you're missing something. Charmaine, if you have a question, it's a no. Because your soul will either be like, hell yeah, or fuck no. So if it's not like a I know, then keep your options open, babes. You have to, and also, Charmaine, make sure that you are the one for you before you worry about Calvin being the one for you. Because I feel like you need to get to know yourself really, really well. Because when you know yourself, you start weeding out certain partners. You're like, ooh, that's a no for me, man. Sharon, are you still in, babes? Did you get the message about coffee and slowing down? Yeah. Okay. Did you guys like to drink coffee in the morning together? Or is that something that you like to do? And my parents were married for 53 years. But my mom was happy he passed. Okay. Did you guys do that in the morning, though? Or it feels like he's trying to remind you that you don't have to rush and to slow down. And I don't know if that's accurate or not. But he watches you. He watches you. And he watches you while you're sleeping. All right. Let's see if there's any other messages that will come through with the love oracle, and then I'm going to hop out. Okay, so put this where it sits, okay? I have fantasies about you. I wish I could fix things between us. I wish you knew how grateful I am to have met you. So take those as they apply, my friends. I'm going to hop out over here. And then